You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Summer's the best time to run the way you want. Dial it up with new challenges and programs and bring your workouts with you to make the most of outside sunny days. There's no better way to do that than with Peloton. With Peloton, take advantage of how beautiful it is outside right now. You can go on an outdoor run or even a walk if you're not feeling like running, all while working on your tan. Summer's the best time to push your pace. Move how you want, enhance your fitness journey, and feel like your most empowered self. Whether you're prepping for a marathon or improving your pace, whatever road lies ahead, your training starts here with Peloton Tread or Tread Plus. Peloton's programs and instructors take you to new heights. Tap into their expertly programmed workouts and real-time metrics like pace targets that can take your fitness journey to new heights. From their strength classes designed for runners on the Peloton Tread or Tread Plus to guided outdoor runs on the Peloton app, Peloton's classes challenge you to be your best. Call yourself a runner with Peloton at onepeloton.com/running.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB de CV. Copyright 2024. Próximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
Greg, we're about to start the show. You shouldn't start the show with a deep inhale through one of those giant nostrils of yours. Okay. You should, because we're about to start. And
breathe before.
You shouldn't fiddle with your microphone. Like, this is all going out already. You could put your headset on. Mm-hmm.
Drops the phone.
This is only going to get worse, right? He just learned how to turn his phone off. I turned it off for him. He's got a dumb phone. He does not have a smartphone. He insists on having the button at the bottom, so it looks like a very old iPhone that's not in very good shape. And he had to finally turn it off because I threw it out of the room onto the sofa last week because he didn't know how to turn it down or turn it off.
A tad aggressive.
Childish temper tantrum by you.
No doubt.
He literally just got a new phone, but requested the one with the button, so they had to go back in the Apple store and wait, we still have these things? And then pulled out, I think, an iPhone 7 or something.
What's wrong with that?
So it's a new phone, but only your father buys a new old phone. Like you bought a phone.
He likes the 7.
I understand that, but he also likes not learning. He also likes not changing.
It takes about a day to adjust to not having the button.
He is aggressively, both of you are actually. You're both aggressively against learning.
Huh.
I still don't get email on this new phone.
Wow.
Can't figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do on my PC. Or whatever
That's
this is
good.
called,
Yeah.
laptop.
Computer.
Yeah.
The way that this room ages is very poor. I am at the center of it. Tuesdays are the worst of it. I am worried about the other room too, though, because Mike Ryan every day, Jeremy and Jessica are saying something to him that makes him sound like a dad, and they just invented another generation this morning that I didn't even know existed.
What?
I thought, there's another generation. I'll get into that with you two in a second. But I am not used to our environment creating really good ideas. Yesterday you had one with Steph Curry on the $3 bill, inventing a $3 bill with Steph Curry, hands to his face, sleeping. I like that idea. And Jessica's got a great one today. I think everyone would get on board with Jessica's idea.
It's a pretty good idea.
What kind of laugh was that?
Do you want to tell? Do you want to tell Greg Cote your idea? Do you want to? Because I think both him and
Don't tell him.
Stugotz.
Save it for the
I'm
audience.
saving this for YouTube, Dano.
But this is the audience. We're talking to the audience right now.
I thought we were just getting to know each other.
News to Greg.
So you are just putting it. You're going to embargo it for later in the show. When I just told Greg how important it is that this part of the show he be paying attention. You're going to embargo the idea for later in the show.
You save the good stuff for when the cameras are rolling.
Yep.
Greg right now is looking around super confused. Are we on the air or are we not on the air? Do I have an iPhone 7 or do I have a rotary phone?
Dad, explain how we're on air right now. Explain it.
I mean, people are talking into mics. Somebody must be listening.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Give me that idea if it's that good.
It's a good idea. You're going to like the idea.
The cameras are rolling.
But the cameras are not yet rolling. See, this is just an audio-only experience. This is our warm-up. This is our calisthenics before we go on a 2-hour sprint.
Let's all stretch.
Do people actually know that we do this?
Which part?
The talking before YouTube. Is this just like a little secret for the people that like are pre-gaming and tailgating with us? Because we've never mentioned on main show that this is something that we're doing.
This is what I'd like to get better at. It's a Kornheiser trick. He did it at like the advent of the internet. He was only on the radio, and then he would talk privately to his most unique audience during the breaks, in the shadows, in a place where you're not getting aggregated. People don't even know what the hell it is.
Right, but I think even like the YouTube audience has us on mute until the cameras go on. Like, I think that we've probably done this for 37 people total.
That's fine. And those 37 are my favorite inside jokesters who will say it to me in the street.
Really?
You're making, because
your top 37 listeners, huh?
Yes, our top 37 listeners. They're the most loyal on the most inside of the stupidest of the jokes. But yes, I'd like to do this in the shadows a little bit more before the show starts. But Greg Cote is confused. We're going to start the show, and he's going to be disoriented. That's the best Greg Cote. Welcome to Greg Cote Tuesday.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Greg Cote, are you aware of what it is that Jeremy, this is a yes or no question, don't give away the answer. Are you aware of what Jeremy is doing today?
I asked him who he was.
Okay,
so I am aware now.
All right, you asked him, he told you, and then you now know who he's in a costume of. Stugotz, do you know who Jeremy is dressed as today?
Tony Finau?
Welcome back, Jeremy. I hope that everybody is happy to have Jeremy back. I can't say it with a great deal of conviction. I suspect he will unleash an assortment of truly terrible puns here. Do you know, Stugotz, you want to take a second guess on who
So it's not Finau.
Who do you think Jeremy is dressed as today? Jeremy generally dresses better than this.
Jason Day?
Okay, so we're not going to get a good answer.
He does look
here.
like an unsuccessful PGA Tour player.
He does. Very unsuccessful. Right. Somebody they wouldn't let into the country club. Somebody who's been banned because he thinks he's as good as the other golfers, and they've already told him he's 20 strokes worse than they are. Jessica, you have a good idea for us where we are allowed. I know that you and the rest of us missed the Olympics already, and I know you have a lot of Olympic opinions that have not yet been given. But you want to now merge. You've got a great idea in August that merges the Olympics and football in a way that I believe Stugotz and Greg Cote will endorse. Let's find out together.
Bronze medal game for the third place winner of the NFL season. Yeah. The losers of the AFC and NFC championship games play each other for a bronze.
Could they be as happy as Jokic was winning a bronze? Now, these two are on record as saying it's worthless to win a bronze. Finishing in third place is for losers. You're just the second loser.
I'd rather see the worst two teams in the NFL play a game the week before the Super Bowl for the first pick in the NFL draft. That's just me.
But don't the staffs already get to coach in the Pro Bowl? How much more reward do they need?
It's not just reward. We need to ravage those human bodies just a little bit more for a game that matters even less than the Super Bowl. But if you put it after the Super Bowl, people will be more interested in it certainly than anything Pro Bowl related. If you put it before the Super Bowl, people will be a hell of a lot more interested than anything Super Bowl related. If you put the Super Bowl out 3 weeks and you play the third place game first.
Stugotz, you would watch a Lions-Ravens game last season for third place. I know you would watch it.
Yeah, because I bet on it. I mean, so I guess that's a good thing. Otherwise, I don't care who wins the game. Like, I don't care who the third best team in the NFL is.
Yeah, players wouldn't care either.
Right. I've heard a similar theory that you have a game going on there, but it's like the two worst teams in the NFL, and they actually play for the right to have the number one pick. The winner gets it, and that's a way to avoid tanking.
Steve Martin, I mean.
That's a great idea.
I'll pay. I'm sorry, guys. By the way, this is a poncho.
Wait,
it's supposed to look oversized.
I just said it, and your response was good idea. I mean,
I don't know what just happened there.
That's a fine for me then.
Yeah,
It was super confusing.
Getting
what
older.
just
It's very
happened
clear
there.
to me. Is it Chapel Roan or Chapel Roan or Chappelle Roan?
All right, you are going to have to go to the penalty box for that. I don't think that's a fine, or I don't think that's just a fine. I don't know why it is.
We've got a major penalty, 5 minutes, derailing.
I want to answer my question.
Chapel Roan.
Jessica and Mike have made Jessica and Jeremy have made Mike very old this morning because they were talking about this video that Jessica described. What's the toilet video? What is it?
Are we really going to do this, Dan? I don't think you want to do this right now.
Well, I don't know what it is. I don't understand what's popular here. Look, if I don't understand it, Stugotz and Cote are going to feel even older at what is a viral, stupid video as everyone in the information age tries to get eyeballs, and some stupid toilet video has now grabbed everyone 10 through 20 years old.
Skibidi Toilet, Dan. Skibidi Toilet. That's the big one for Gen Alpha. They love it. Skibidi Toilet. Gen Z a little bit. Gen Alpha really loves it.
That's not how generations work.
Yes, it is.
No, that's way too soon to have another gen.
It started in 2010.
Why are you still here?
Because I think I'm necessary for this, honestly. Like, you guys, I'm old enough as it is. You guys responding to the viral video, like, I think I can help.
This is also a viral video from like 2 years ago. Which
Delayed.
Is the best
That's why it's
part.
great.
Delayed penalty.
Yeah, you guys got it in our zone.
No, I don't. But I don't want you here during this.
All right,
You need him here. You need him here.
I've got lines, but all right.
Terrible what we're watching.
You've got lines?
It's gonna haunt
I
my
was
dreams.
prepared for this after I have a huge
Lines.
issue. Have a huge issue, number one, with another. I don't know what the hell I'm watching is right now. There used to be gatekeepers when it came to viral videos. You used to have to earn it. Now all of a sudden, a girl says 4 words into a microphone and she's being interviewed by Bill Maher. This is bullshit. Bill Maher didn't interview the Grape Lady. He didn't interview Shoes, oh my God, Shoes, or Leave Britney Alone, or Chocolate Rain Guy.
What about Charlie? You bit me.
Charlie bit me, a
Whatever
legend.
happened to that kid?
Do you understand? If Charlie bit me happened today, he would have a brand and a Dogecoin. You kids have ruined everything. Gatekeepers are good things. It used to be a good thing to have to go to E-Bomb's World to see what was popular. Now, just you TikTok away and you got a T-shirt deal, and it's unfair. All right, I'll go serve my penalty.
All right.
The audience must be so confused. What happened this morning was Jeremy told us he came back from camp with a lot of Gen Alpha children.
Yeah, that's right.
And they taught him a lot of new phrases. And one of the phrases, which we'll get to in his top 5, sparked a conversation about this video that went viral on YouTube a couple years ago that somehow came into my algorithm not that long ago and is now getting a treatment from Michael Bay. They're going to turn it into a feature film. So then, of course, now this goes into the mainstream. And until now, probably the only people that have heard of this thing are people with young children or children themselves, or the people, the campers at Jeremy's camp.
Yep. Feature film.
And it really pissed off Mike Ryan to find out there was a Gen Alpha.
You don't, Gen Alpha, I'll get to that in a second, but you don't get a feature film because you go viral. There are steps in this process. You go viral, and then you go on Tosh.0 to do a web redemption. And if that goes viral, then we can start talking about Hollywood. You don't go straight to Michael Bay.
Michael Bay is top of the food chain. Why is Michael Bay interested in the stupidity of this video, and why is it that Jeremy is bringing in something 2 years old from 12-year-olds?
It's not 2 years old for them, Dan. It's 2 years old in terms of a video, but there is no phrase that I heard more than Skibidi Toilet, than Skibidi Toilet Riz, than Skibidi Riz, Ohio Riz, or just Skibidi Toilet on Ohio Riz.
I can't be the only one that thinks this sounds
Ohio
like
means
super stupid, right?
No, you're not the only one.
No, this
it sounds Ohio.
Is John Woo doing a movie on hide your kids, hide your wife?
This is appealing to the generation, and there will be a couple of, all future generations are not going to know what cursive looks like, are not going to know how to write cursive, and all future generations are not going to need to know how to read, right? So this is the first of those generations grown up on the stupidity of how videos just sort of addict you and make your brain rot and your eyes glaze over, but you won't have to learn how to read.
I was a couple of generations early, huh?
You were. You're a visionary. You're a pioneer that way.
My daughter's still learning to read. That's still happening.
All right.
But this is, am I wrong about this? This is, if we're going to create another generation already at 12 years old, that generation is going to be addicted to a phone smarter than the one Greg Cote brought in here, right?
Right.
It depends on what they're showing up on YouTube. Like, my daughter asked me, she just makes up words because she saw it in a Russian YouTube video, and she's like, "What's a nutria?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "That's the water in your stomach." I'm like, "I'll look that up." I don't think so.
Is Gen Alpha now a thing? Is that officially
that's
so?
born between 2010 and 2024. So literally, there's bar mitzvah boys out there who were part of Gen Alpha.
So we're giving it like a hurricane
B-boys.
name
Why
instead
are
of a
they
letter.
alpha and not beta? Because this is real beta energy. Why do they get to be alpha?
It goes from Z to Alpha.
energy.
I don't think so.
Why can't they just be 14? Why do they have to have a name?
You don't get to make
I
that
don't
up.
think they get to be a generation yet.
Wait, do generations get to name themselves? Because Tom Brokaw called his generation the greatest generation. I'm like, that's mighty convenient.
No, it was, though. My dad's generation.
The Brokaw generation.
Yeah, no, my dad's generation
right.
was the greatest generation. There's no doubt.
You do have a point there.
It's true.
Is
Frank
Brokaw-
Sinatra.
Wait a minute.
Easier time,
Is
man.
Brokaw?
Dad.
Wait, how old
Tom Brokaw?
was? Question mark.
Wait, hold on. Brokaw's still with us, isn't he?
It's a question mark. I put a
Terrible
question
news
mark.
today is I've passed away, according to Dan Wabakow.
He's 84.
Yeah,
So is he a different? He's not a different generation than Greg Cote.
It's the greatest generation.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's the greatest generation. I came after that. I'm
Cody,
the
you're a
original.
boomer, right?
What's my generation
Aren't you a
called?
baby boomer?
Am I a boomer?
I think you're a boomer.
I think I might have been 1 year too late to be a boomer.
I don't know how old you are.
What is the year difference between generations? What's the number? Is it? I've always thought of it as 20 years between generations, not 14.
So it's between 15 and 20 years usually. The greatest generation was actually born between 1901 and 1927. So Brokaw, that doesn't even apply to him. It's the generation before him.
Again, I just simply want to get this right. The reason it's a generation is because we're assuming that that you're having kids at 16, 17, 18. So therefore, the difference between the generations has to be 16, 17, 18 years, which would put Greg Cote in Brokaw's generation if he's within 14 years, possibly. Am I wrong? Do I have this incorrect? Are you saying that your dad's generation is the greatest generation when I think you might be saying your generation is the greatest generation?
Generations are separated by 21 years, so you know.
Well, they're all it's kind of all socially constructed to begin with, but baby boomers were the generation born after World War II during the baby boom when there was a humongous population
Right,
growth.
including me.
That would be Greg Cote.
Yeah, that's true. Brokaw was born prior to the boomers, which it makes him the greatest generation, along with my dad, Wild Bill Cote, and Frank Sinatra.
At first I thought you said Anne Frank.
And Frank was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
You owe $5 for coughing. You've been racking up fines, and you're not paying any of them. So you owe.
I gave you a $100 euro a few weeks ago.
You gave me a $10 euro.
You gave me a $10
Write
euro.
another zero on it.
And then I passed it over to Jessica because she's been getting all of the fine money. You owe her about $45, so you can Venmo it to her because you got to start.
Venmo. Venmo.
You think he knows how to do that?
Venmo. I'll write her a check is what I'll do.
That boy.
Yeah,
that
how dare
boy.
her know what to do with it.
I'll
How
take
about
it.
that?
Hey,
I'll get a
mobile
money order from the
deposit.
bank.
Guys, I'm a millennial. I know how to deposit a check, all right?
Do you think if Don't Tase Me Bro happened today, Lin-Manuel Miranda would have to write a musical about it?
Do you have cash on you?
I got a lot of cash.
All right, give me. You owe for a bunch of coughing and an assortment of things. Yeah, and for like 3 weeks running, and for not paying any of your fines before this. I'm going to say $38, and you're getting off cheap.
You guys ever see that dude describe that leprechaun that he saw that one time? Now that deserves some eyes.
Pet parents know all about Chewy. They have everything I need to keep Willow happy and healthy. They are not messing around. Chewy has over 100,000 products from all the brands that Willow loves at the prices I love. Food, treats, beds, you name it, they have it. And it gets shipped directly to your door in 1 to 2 days. Willow loves her greenies, and Chewy has every single variety available. Thanks to Chewy's auto-ship feature, I'm never getting that "I'm so disappointed in you" look from Willow. You can set up recurring shipments of all the essentials, so you're never running out, and can change or cancel your auto-ship order at any time. It's super convenient and one less thing to worry about. Speaking of not worrying, Chewy has top-tier 24/7 customer service. If my pet or I don't love something, Chewy's 100% satisfaction guarantee lets me return it within a year, no questions asked. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com/Dan. That's chewy.com/Dan to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. Chewy.com/Dan. Minimum purchase required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details.
Dan Le Batard.
Surely every time you're watching this, you recognize that your wife is laughing that she married
Yes.
Larry David.
Yeah, I do, yeah. One of the great characters in the history of television, in my humble opinion. And to my credit, my personality...
In my humble opinion, followed by to my credit.
To my credit.
It's amazing.
My personality
it's just amazing.
does predate Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Stugotz.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to
okay.
say Larry David patterned himself
you
after
copy.
me.
All right, put it on the poll, please, Juju. Did Greg Cote copyright being an asshole long before Larry David?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Jessica, I'm surprised they don't like your idea around here. They don't thank
I'm really
you.
sad. I mean, like, what was I know the players wouldn't be into it. Yeah, okay, we can
That's
talk
kind of
about,
a big deal, though.
We can talk about all
the
the
players
all
not
the
wanting to
serious-
do it.
I mean, you're a free agent. Why would you play in that game? I mean, you
But
get injured.
from just a pure fanfic perspective, can we just go down the road? Like, we don't have to bring all the actual reality.
No, but all you got to do is incentivize it. If none of the stuff about human bodies matters in the football we're watching, we can make a third place game and attach stakes to it somehow, and then everyone will get invested. The stakes just have to matter.
Why not a last place game? Because there are times, there will be years, Dan, where the first player in the draft is so valuable that more people will watch that game than the actual Super Bowl.
Okay, now that
I mean, you're playing for Caleb Williams.
Great idea.
That is for the fans, and that is just for the fans. But if you also made it for the players and worried at all about safety, what you could do, Jessica, is you can make the third place game, right? We were so excited. All of us were so excited. Look at how much these professional athletes care. Durant cares. Jokic cares. They care more about this than the pros. You got to put money on the table to make them care. You got to give them a few $1 million so that everyone else, put stake.
Right.
Look, fewer stakes than the Super Bowl game, but put stakes on it. Put
fillets, ribeyes, put all the steaks on the table.
Flank.
And play for meat. No, what they should do is
it,
have the two teams with the two worst records play, and the winner of that game gets the overall number one draft pick.
Okay, get out.
That's what they should do.
All right, get out.
Then you've got stakes.
All right, get out,
Right?
Steve Martin. You go sit with Mike Ryan. Go sit, Mike Ryan. Go sit with Mike Ryan while you're out
And
there.
the winner gets not only the number one draft pick, but a fine marbled
Got a penalty,
ribeye.
5 minutes, major
Tomahawk.
Yes.
I just thought Stugotz would want to maybe screw around talking about 2020 Bills Packers with me, but apparently we have to talk about all the serious ramifications of playing an extra game. I agree with all of that. We're doing a thing here, guys.
I know we're doing a thing. I'm all for an extra game. I'm all for more football. I'm just presenting a better idea, in my opinion.
Let's do both of those.
Right.
It all works.
Okay, Jessica, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you're not allowed to tell people that we're doing a thing. That's not something we do on this show. So,
Major penalty, 5 minutes, swooning comedy.
Just me, you, Chris, and Jason Day.
All right, Raygun is what Jeremy is doing in the corner there. And now that you've made a couple of jokes, can you please tell me what you think Raygun is? Because
oh boy,
yeah,
I don't know, man. Raygun. I mean, I don't know, Dan.
See, this is a little unfair because, like, the viral thing was not her name. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
I more
but this-
just knew it by looking at her than her
I don't
name.
think this is the thing with Stugotz, all right? I made fun of him
Something
yes-
out of Star Trek. I don't know.
I made fun of Stugotz yesterday because he pretended that something from the Olympics stirred him so much that he cared about sports and things again. And what I've been frustrated about the last 2 weeks with Stugotz is he wanted to talk about this Jordan Childs controversy, so he did like 3 minutes of research. He said her name wrong, and then while everyone's talking about it, he whispers in my ear the song "Watching the Games" because he's watched them poorly, and he's got like just very tangential information on everything that's happening here. And it's a little bit difficult to do a show this way with somebody like this when he knows about this much about things, and when he researches them, he sings me a song that interrupts what I'm saying.
Watching the games.
I appreciate it. He's trying, man.
What Jeremy is doing.
It's August.
What Jeremy is doing. Yes, it's August, but everybody really enjoyed the Olympics. Everybody was. I can't believe it. I don't blame you for being surprised by it. It's not something that has happened very recently in our lives. Like it's been a generation since people seem to care about the Olympics the way they cared about these. Stugotz, I did not imagine a scenario where America would gather around the television to watch sports because they need some sort of blessed relief of action and escapism all day. In this respect, Stugotz, for wherever it is that people have assigned bitterness to me because ESPN made a choice. ESPN made a very smart business choice to get all the politics out of there. And it wasn't politics. It was just journalists who were talking about race and serious socioeconomic things. But it wasn't politics, and they just ran everybody off. It's a good business decision to just, hey, America. In fact, their focus groups show them this. Man, the number of times I heard at the end there that, no, man, they just want SEC football. Like, get out of here with all the other stuff. NBC and Peacock just gave that to you for 2 weeks shortly after a presidential assassination attempt. And people are like, just give me sugar. Just give me cotton candy. Just let me escape over here for 2 weeks in the middle of summer while not a lot of other major stakes stuff is happening in sports. And give me stakes every day. All day, give it to me for 2 weeks. People went back to sports and genuflected before the blessed relief of, can you please just take me away from my real life for 2 weeks? Because things kind of suck everywhere.
People try to ruin it, too. They really tried. They really tried by mixing up deities and genders. They really tried to ruin this one, but none of it mattered. Nobody stopped watching. Fewer people congratulated Simone Biles. That's really like the only thing that ended up happening, but not fewer people watching. It was actually wonderful, and it gave me hope.
I want to go back to a time. Many of you will not know the name Eddie the Eagle from the Olympics, but it was colossal, epic failure in skiing in the Winter Olympics. And he became a name that resonated more than most from that time 2 generations ago.
Ski jumping. Big difference.
That's correct.
Yes,
forgive me. Ski jumping.
Watching the games.
Yes, excellent. He was. Last time he watched him was about when Eddie the Eagle was ski jumping. Yes.
Is that the Muppet?
Is that the Muppet?
No, it's Sam the Eagle. That looks like Anderson Cooper. That's Sam the Eagle.
Yeah.
Regardless, he was an epic failure. And Raygun, I'm wondering if from these Olympics, Raygun, the breaker, who lost 54-0 because she was a generation removed from when from the best athletes in breaking, the young athletes in breaking, and a lot of people thought she made a fool of herself, dancing poorly, doing a T-Rex, doing what I said yesterday was a 5-year-old, what they would do when they say, "Watch this, Daddy," just flopping around on the ground. Are we going to make a movie out of her because she's going to resonate more in 20 years than the other Olympians? Because we love success, but epic failure is also something that we love to laugh at.
Oh, she's 5 minutes away from an NFT, no doubt.
What I love is there is presently a conspiracy theory floating around about Raygun and the entire breaking competition at the Olympics, saying that, which is true, the group that
You out of breath?
Yeah, I've been dancing a lot.
From kangaroo
I'm exhausted.
dancing?
Yes.
Well, I've been
breakdancing for 20 minutes.
He's been doing Raygun for 20 minutes. Yeah.
No, I'm just
You sound
really
like
exhausted.
Taylor around a microphone.
But the committee that decided to put breaking in the Olympics is actually a committee that organizes more ballroom dancing competitions. And apparently, originally the IOC was considering potentially putting ballroom dancing as the competition in the Olympics. And so there are conspiracy theories now that Raygun was sent by Australia to purposefully sabotage the breaking competition by going viral for being bad because Australia is more known for ballroom dancing than breakdancing. So they sent someone to make the competition look like a joke so that breaking will never be back in the Olympics and ballroom dancing can take over. That's the popular conspiracy.
It was already
right now.
decided that it was going to be one and done before the Raygun
But they might
phenomenon.
lobby to bring it back.
Why? This thing was terrible. I know we mentioned this briefly yesterday, but breaking really under-delivered on everyone's hopes and expectations. We thought it would go viral, but it went viral for the wrong reasons. It
Well,
went
that's
viral
the point.
for
is
Raygun.
There were really good competitors as well. Like the best of the best were amazing in that competition.
I mean, I thought it was pretty whack. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. The music was really bad, and I think you need good music to go with good dancing. It just, none of it popped. It kind of, in theory, I like the idea. I'm all for like an Olympic Games of games that aren't conventional. Throw cornhole in there. That's all fun. This wasn't fun. It was kind of, you would flip to it and you would be bored really quickly because you need good music for this stuff to work. That's why if Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo had bad, like, royalty-free music, like, it would not be the sensation it became. Everyone knows the names Turbo and Ozone, right, Jess?
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo is not something I expected to hear today. Thank you for bringing it to us.
Was it Turbo or Ozone that did the thing with the broom? Because that was dope.
Turbo.
What about Skibidi Toilet? Did you expect to hear that today?
On Skibidi.
If you freeze it, you can see the string on the broom, which kind of ruins the magic.
Greg Cote, I feel like you've got opinions here. There are things that you want to say.
Well, I brought up Fat Man Pole Vault a couple of weeks ago, and everyone laughed at me. You need more weird things in the Olympics. You need silly events, produce aisle shot put, for example, like on the Greg Cote show.
Great idea.
You got to have ridiculous events. You got to have obese people. You got to have things that are unusual. Enough with good athletes. Come on.
A lot has changed over the years, listening audience. Hey, it's Mike Ryan. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite. Now, over the course of our history doing this show, Miller Lite's kind of been there for the vast majority of it, and I have been a very public-facing fan of the beverage. Why? Well, that's been up for debate for a long time, pretty much since 1975. But one thing that is not up for debate, the undebatable quality and great taste of Miller Lite. The fact that it is only 96 calories. This is a beer that strips everything away that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. Less filling, great taste. A light beer that tastes like beer. You don't have to choose what you like best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Dan Le Batard.
You have some hot takes today. Joe Chestnut's a fraud.
He's on fire.
He called
Joseph
Connor
Chestnut.
McDavid overrated before the show.
What the hell was that, Greg?
Yeah, no,
I love it.
Stugotz.
Roy, let me explain it to you. And not that you know more about hockey
And this
than
is
I do.
coming from a guy that's watched Connor play 6 times.
Right.
If that.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Greg Cote's only interest in that first segment was getting a plug out on his podcast and the Produce Aisle Shot Put Olympic event that he and his son did. That, by the way, I want you guys, when I say that Greg Cote is against learning, Okay, I was not trying to get him with a hard network out there. I gave him the show with 30 seconds left.
Yep.
And he was so proud of himself for noticing that he stopped thinking about how he was going to end the segment with something funny or good. He was just going to be proud after all these years that he walked us right up to the ending without thinking, oh, the point here is to be clever at the end and give people the punctuation. Instead, all he did was, instead of dismounting, come on, because he knew exactly where the clock was. But that time, I wasn't trying to trick him. If I was trying to trick him, I would have done it with 8 seconds left or 5 seconds left, not 30 seconds left.
Easy to say after
well,
the fact.
but this
you
is the
explaining
thing.
the show, Dan? Like, is this? Should you be saying all
That's
of
like
this
the
to
biggest
the audience?
penalty that I've seen thus far.
All right.
5 minutes for living comedy.
We've got a penalty, 5 minutes. Major asshole.
Fair, I didn't trigger that.
Did he just call himself a major asshole?
He
He
did,
just
which
gave
is
himself a penalty for being a major asshole?
I think it's a little harsh.
Yeah, it's a little harsh. Not inaccurate, but harsh.
What is going on with your Olympic Games with Christopher?
You know what? We're coming down to the wire. We've had 8 events. He's won 5. I've won 3.
Right.
And we've got 2 events next week. If I win them both, there will be a 1-event Olympic off.
Wow.
To see who wins the father-son Olympics. So I'm coming on big. I'm rallying, and we're going to be there. It's
the last episode was the shot put of produce items because because my dad is older than I am. We handicapped it by giving me a bigger item.
You got a watermelon?
So I got a watermelon, and
Right.
he has a cantaloupe.
Right.
So tune in this week to see who can shot put.
You have to shot put a watermelon?
Yeah.
Are you going to do the full spin with like the footwork and everything?
You know, you're gonna have to find out. I think we just tweeted out the video though. If you want to watch
You
it.
can't shot put a watermelon. You can't do it.
Well,
I did it.
yeah, you can.
Huh.
And the rule was you can't throw it. You know, you can't
Right.
granny
Right,
the
That's why it was
football.
called shot
Right.
put.
It's not a javelin throw.
You have to push it heave it like a javelin.
We're familiar with
motion.
it. Yeah, we're familiar with
The
how you shot put.
javelin in the track and field events at the Olympics, by the way, I think this was the first time I've ever watched it because everything was on Peacock and you could just watch the track and field feed. They usually don't show that in prime time. So I was watching these Olympic javelin throwers for the first time. Did you guys see how they would like heave it before they got to the line and then fall forward onto their hands? Like they threw it so hard that they would like fall onto all fours. It was crazy.
Because they're not allowed to go past the line.
Yeah,
kinda
you
thing?
can't go past the line. So like some of them would like go up to the line and then like chuck it. And
You
then
can
some of
land
them-
past the line, right?
No, that's
You
the
can't?
thing.
Can't cross-
really?
can't
So if
cross
you want
line
to
at
put your
all.
whole body into it, you have to release it from further away so you can give your space
like-
to land before the line.
like flying forward, then they'd land on their hands, and like the javelin would go psh, like all the way down a football field.
You know what shocked me
distance.
about the Anfield events? That if it's raining, they don't really suspend them.
No.
It's just another obstacle for these athletes to overcome,
Right.
which honestly seems really dangerous
Yeah,
because,
they
like, the hammer throw in particular, it's a very slick surface, and you add water to it. Like,
Right.
people can get seriously hurt doing this.
They're
stuff.
handling weapons out there.
Yes!
I mean, seriously.
What a weird
Weapons.
event. Why are we throwing hammers?
Hammer throw and discus are probably the two scariest
Your
things
son
to
threw
judge.
a watermelon.
Well, but
Where do the judges stand?
Well, so they have the net, so I assume that if it's off to the side, it just goes into the net and it won't actually hit someone. But yeah, they're all the way out in the field. I also
What are they judging, really? Because it's just like, it's on tape measure guy, really.
well, they don't. I think it's electronic now for like long jump and triple jump is all done with like VAR.
Yeah.
I don't know discus and hammer throw and shot put, but Billy and I were talking about this last week. So the pole vaulters have to bring their own poles to the Olympics and to meets and stuff like that, and they're like insanely long and heavy, and some airlines don't let you fly with your pole. So you have to book certain airlines, and it's becoming like more and more expensive to pole vault now because you can't get your pole. Some people stash their poles like in Europe for all the European meets because they can't bring their poles overseas.
why aren't there collapsible poles like pool cues?
Probably because you don't want it to collapse like while you're pole vaulting. I
but it
would
wouldn't.
guess it's
You
like
lock
an
it in,
integrity
right.
thing.
Yeah, you screw it
Yeah.
with a pool
Dude,
cue.
when
don't
someone
know.
shows up to the pool hall with one of those, get out of the way.
Yeah,
You're
seriously.
toast.
Are you?
You're toast.
Really?
If someone
Yeah.
assembles a pool cue in front of you, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what we just agreed to, I'm out of here.
also,
a shark.
nerd alert.
I'm not certain it's a shark. I mean, doesn't mean it doesn't guarantee you're good at pool because you bring your own cue.
It does. It does.
No, it doesn't guarantee. When you go to the bowling alley and you bring your own ball, it doesn't guarantee you're good at bowling.
But in pool, it does.
It's a bluff.
We put it on the poll. If you go to a pool hall and you assemble a cue right before your opponent, that person is going to win.
Okay.
The person that is assembling the cue wins every time.
I also want to put on
wins
the poll.
before the game starts.
Yes. Well, much of the game is mental.
Who looks more like a tool? Guy rolling in his bowling ball or a guy walking in with his briefcase with his pool stick?
Well, I can't make eye contact with the dude that's assembling the pool cue because he's already won the mental battle with me.
By the
You just
way,
hand them your money.
by the way, if you're walking into a bowling alley on league night with more than 2 bowling balls, get out of my alley. Get out of my league.
I have 3.
It is ridiculous.
I have a spare ball, and then I got my strike ball and my backup strike.
No, that's one ball too many.
Greg, do you use that little fan?
Actually
ever?
does.
A lot of people do that.
So,
a lot
like-
of people at bowling, they have a little Roby fan right at the table, and it's blowing on them the entire time.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, but there's like that little fan that comes out through that conveyor belt.
You're talking about like
I
do
love
people,
that. Yeah, I always put
do
my
people
hands
do that
there.
to? Because I
love
watched
that.
somebody try their hands there one time. And I'm like, that's what the pros do.
It's a power
It's like
move.
when tennis players blow on their fingers right before they serve.
Yes.
They're like,
It's a power move to put your hand over that
Why
thing,
are
even
your
if it
hands
doesn't do
sweating?
anything.
Bowling is not that exerting. I bowl.
says the guy who's not that good at bowling.
Wait, Chris,
good.
you bring 3 balls to the alley?
I have a whole thing. I have a roller bag.
It's obnoxious.
I mean, what do you want- what do you want
I
from me?
bring 1 ball, then I use a house ball for my 10-pin spares.
Nice. If you guys tie, what's the deciding event? Have you figured that out?
We haven't yet. I've already come up with one event for next week. It's got to be vetted, but my event suggestion might be pool noodle javelin.
What?
Pool noodle javelin.
That seems very difficult. So many
This
outside
is the real
variables.
deal, man. Anybody can throw a shot put. Who can throw a cantaloupe?
You got to be careful. If you have your pool noodles lying around for a long time, snakes hide in those things.
Yep.
The more you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
If I were a
That's right,
snake, that's
yeah.
where I'd chill out.
It's
Are
like
you
a
kidding?
home. Yeah.
Inside the noodle hole?
Happens all the time in
It does.
Florida.
Yeah, I've read that actually.
Nice and snug.
And also, rats will eat a pool noodle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
place is
discovered that a
terrible.
couple of years ago. Rats will eat anything. They'll eat paper, cardboard, stuff like that. Probably, and rats would eat a cantaloupe, just like squirrels would eat mangoes.
Let's show Greg Cote throwing a cantaloupe on the side of his home.
This is a shot put.
Shot
This
put,
is
yeah.
the shot put. Yes, excuse me. I'm sorry to call it throwing because he's lined up like a pitcher there. And
There's no throwing.
and if you, yes, of course. So here is the video of Greg Cote doing the shot put, or perhaps it doesn't work, and we'll go to it another time.
Not right now.
Here it is.
Are you feeling confident?
I'm feeling confident-ish.
Hold on, let me get the video audience here. All right, so he's got to meet. The flag on the left is what
The
he's trying to
FPL
beat.
flags in the
About 9 yards away.
Gardner
your
flag.
marker.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a throw. That wasn't a shot
That was
put.
a throw.
I
That
went
was
like
a
that.
throw.
I went
That's-
like this.
You did. You beat him, but that wasn't a shot put.
I went like this.
No, that's a throw.
No, it was not a
Extension.
throw.
Yeah.
That's why they have judges.
You are just like the Herculean people who do it in the Olympics.
Thank you.
You did throw it further than Chris did, though.
Damn right I
He
did.
pushed out a cantaloupe, honorary mother.
Well, since we're spoiling it, we can now spoil everything. The watermelon that I threw exploded because my dad was like, we should do this 3 throws each. My first throw completely exploded my watermelon because, of course, I threw it
Who
20
could have
feet
seen
in the
that
air.
coming?
And in the video right before,
Gallagher.
I said, Dad, this is stupid. It's going to explode. He's like, no, best of 3 throws each.
And
it was-
here's the hidden prize. It turned out the watermelon turned out to have yellow meat in it, or flesh they call it. It was a yellow flesh watermelon. I didn't even know that existed. I thought all watermelons were red. Bring
you know-
back seeds in watermelons.
Did
by
you
the
know
way.
that there's
We
a
don't like
NASCAR
seedless
driver?
melons. What?
There's a NASCAR driver that's nicknamed the Watermelon Man
I did not know that.
because his
Really?
whole Ryan Blaney is like his whole thing is like when I win a race, I throw a watermelon, and that's why I'm called the Watermelon Man.
Oh, I like it. That's why I first fell in love with David Letterman. I was watching one of his shows for the first time, and he's up on a 6-story rooftop throwing watermelons on the sidewalk. I thought that was just brilliant.
I think I confused Ryan Blaney with Ross Chastain. Before all you gearheads get at me,
you're having a day, man. Yeah.
Put it on the poll, please. Go put the gearhead on in penalty. Put it on your head as a penalty because it seems heavy and unpleasant. You should know more about racing
I didn't mean
than
to
you
confuse
do.
it with the Menards 12.
Put it on the poll, please, at Batard Show. Did you know there was such a thing as a yellow flesh watermelon? Did you know that rats eat pool noodles? And have you ever found a snake in your pool noodle?
The yellow watermelon happens to be fairly common. Now, I will tell you this, and delicious, according to reports here. If I get a watermelon, open it up, and it's yellow inside, not eating.
I hear you.
No, not
that was my first reaction was to be repulsed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To think it had rotted or something?
To think, what the hell is this? Because I thought I'm buying a watermelon. I thought they were only red.
The yellow is generally sweeter and has a honey-like taste to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is, this is a misnomer. Bulls don't see red, including fighting bulls looking at a red cape. Because of an eye condition bulls have, they see red as a grayish yellow. So my first thought was, the watermelon explodes, and I'm like, what am I, a bull? I'm seeing a red watermelon, but I'm seeing yellow. I thought my eyesight had gone.
Bullseye.
Exactly.
I think just yesterday, or no, maybe it was last week on the show, we did say that bulls do indeed see red, and that's why it works for matadors. But what you're telling us is they see it as a different color. They don't see it as actual red.
Yeah.
That it's different than all the other colors, but they charge that because their eyesight is largely colorless.
Yes. For the color red, anyway. That's all I know about bull eyesight, is that they're not seeing a red flag the way we would see a red cape.
But it's different. They are being distracted by the cape. It's not. What I'm asking you is, I guess, that it's not a red cape, but they're seeing it as a different color that attracts them.
Yes, apparently.
They're seeing it as yellowish gray, but apparently it's just the waving motion of the cape that bothers them. So theoretically,
it could be any color?
Yeah.
I'm very confused by that. I'm going to do more research.
All right, please do, because in the last 7 days, we've given completely contradictory information. We said as a fact that bulls do indeed see red, and now you're saying it's impossible for them to see red. That is not good information. That is just straight misinformation from our show on one of the sides.
We also did it last segment as well, where we said Tom Brokaw is from the Great Generation. He is not. He is a product of the silent generation.
Another important correction.
He's not very quiet, though, is he?
Well.
Summer's the best time to run the way you want. Dial it up with new challenges and programs and bring your workouts with you to make the most of outside sunny days. There's no better way to do that than with Peloton. With Peloton, take advantage of how beautiful it is outside right now. You can go on an outdoor run or even a walk if you're not feeling like running, all while working on your tan. Summer's the best time to push your pace. Move how you want, enhance your fitness journey, and feel like your most empowered self. Whether you're prepping for a marathon or improving your pace, whatever road lies ahead, your training starts here with Peloton Tread or Tread Plus. Peloton's programs and instructors take you to new heights. Tap into their expertly programmed workouts and real-time metrics like pace targets that can take your fitness journey to new heights. From their strength classes designed for runners on the Peloton Tread or Tread Plus to guided outdoor runs on the Peloton app, Peloton's classes challenge you to be your best. Call yourself a runner with Peloton at onepeloton.com/running.
A lot has changed over the years, listening audience. Hey, it's Mike Ryan. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite. Now, you know, over the course of our history doing this show, Miller Lite's kind of been there for the vast majority of it, and I have been a very public-facing fan of the beverage. Why? Well, that's been up for debate for a long time, pretty much since 1975. But one thing that is not up for debate, the undebatable quality and great taste of Miller Lite. The fact that it is only 96 calories. This is a beer that strips everything away that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. Less filling, great taste. A light beer that tastes like beer. You don't have to choose what you like best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.